This Thessalonians chapter reading reminds me of a book that I just recently read as part of the reading fair at the elementary school, Christmas with Amelia Bedelia. Amelia Bedelia, as some of you may know, is someone who takes directions a little too literally. She follows the directions exactly as they're given to her. She is asked to trim the tree, so she takes some shears and she literally trims the tree. She is asked to stuff stockings for the next door neighbors. So she makes a whole bunch of stuffing and puts stuffing in each of the stockings and hangs them by the fireplace. She's asked to put balls on the tree. So she goes out and buys sports balls, basketballs, volleyballs, all to hang on the tree. She got different colors, so it looked kind of okay. She took things literally. One of the first things in that story is she's told to make a date cake. So she puts a cake together and then cuts up a calendar to put into it. He mixes it together, and so it's a date cake. The people of Thessalonica are kind of like that, some of them. Here we have a situation where Paul, and we're thinking about that now because we are in the time of Advent. We are anticipating the return of Jesus Christ, His second coming. And so for some of the people that were there in Thessalonica, they took that as saying, I don't need to work. All I got to do is sit and look at the skies. Sit and look at the skies until Jesus comes. This caused some problems. In the name of the Lord Jesus Christ, we command you, brothers, to keep away from every brother who is idle and does not live according to the teaching you received from us. There's three points I have for you today. I'm going to give them to you ahead of time. As in this time of Advent, first off is be careful how you wait. Be careful how you wait. Secondly, don't let your waiting be a burden on other people. And third, fill this time of waiting in the right way. Fill this time of waiting in the right way. Paul makes all these points in this passage, important for us in this time of Advent. See, Paul is saying here that there are some people among you that heard the same instructions that I gave to you. That you always heard the same instructions, but some of you aren't quite getting them right. You're told to wait. We're told to anticipate the coming of Jesus Christ, but we also need to live our lives. This reminds me of the passage in Jeremiah, where people were getting taken into exile all around Jeremiah. But God told him to build a home. To build a home and live. He's not supposed to be anticipating, when am I going to get taken? Rather, he needed to go about the work of ministry and the work of the everyday. Work. We need to work in this time. We know that the Lord is coming. We know there's an anticipation that we need to be ready for, both in our hearts and in our minds, to be ready for when He's coming. Jesus talks over and over again about that preparation. The preparation of being ready for when He gets there with your candles lit. But during the day, you still need to work. You need to be ready, but you still need to work. He talks about, in here, he talks about the beginning and at the end. Do not associate. Keep away from every brother who is idle, does not live according to the teaching you received from us. Keep away from them. Be careful about the company you keep, even when it's amongst people in the church. Part of the idea there is that it's a sort of discipline as well, to help them know that they're not quite doing things right. Psalm chapter 1 talks about not associating with the sinner or sitting in the seat of the mockers. Do not put yourself in a situation that's going to cause you to stumble. Instead, you need to be in a place where it says there that your roots, the roots as a tree, will sop up the nutrients from the stream of water to grow. Listen to the teaching that we have given you and help your brothers and sisters to follow them as well. Be careful how you wait. Be careful how you wait. Secondly, don't let your waiting be a burden. Don't let your waiting be a burden. For you yourselves know how you ought to follow our examples. We were not idle when we were with you, nor did we eat anyone's food without paying for it. On the contrary, we worked night and day, laboring and toiling so that we would not be a burden to any of you. We did this not because we do not have the right to such help, but in order to make ourselves a model for you to follow. For even when we were with you, we gave you this rule: if a man will not work, he shall not eat. Paul is saying that he was an example to them. That he was an example to them about how to earn what you get. How to be a good family. Because they were living as a community, living as a family, helping out one another when they're in need. See, this not working here is not something of people who can't find work, because 240,000 people in the month of November have fallen into that problem, not being able to find work. No, this is talking about people who aren't willing to work. They have no desire to work. These are people who are so wrapped up in this situation of waiting for Jesus to come that they're not working. And so what's happening is that they're becoming a burden for the other people in the town, for the other people in this community. And we have to think back. We have to think back to this time. If you were a Christian in Thessalonica, you weren't in the majority. It could make life difficult finding a job. So everyone that could work needed to work so that they could help out one another, so that they would not be a burden. Don't let your waiting be a burden. Don't let your waiting be a burden. Go about work if you can. But the other lesson in here is that as a community, they did help one another out.